Hello and welcome to this episode of Focus On. I'm Kiamagetso Mosipele. Today we put the spotlight on the McDonald's SA Women in Conversation platform, a public event hosted by the SA chapter of Women's Leadership Network, which aims to recognize and raise awareness of the significant contributions that women are making at McDonald's globally. As we are observing Women's Month in South Africa, today's conversation is particularly fitting. Now joining me for more is my in-studio guest, Maureen Williams-Mtoninchi, Director of Operations at McDonald's SA, as well as the Chairperson of the SA chapter of Women's Leadership Network. Maureen, thank you so much for joining us, and more importantly, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Now, I have expanded on your work between the Women's Leadership Network as well as McDonald's SA. Just kindly let us know about the Women in Conversation platform, just what it looks like, what is the format, but more importantly, what is the evolution? Because I understand it extends just beyond this year.
Thank you very much, Camo, for that question. And I'm excited, and I want to say Happy Women's Month to all the women here in South Africa, and I celebrate all women all over the world. Well, our Women in Conversation event is a hybrid event that happens twice a year here in South Africa, and it happens in March when it's International Women's Month, and then in South Africa, it happens during our Women's Month, which happens in August yearly. And so we, as you've said, we have got a Women's Leadership Network that is a global network. But in South Africa, when we launch our chapter, we then had added a program called Women in Conversation. Actually, it started in 2018 when we started with McDonald's in Conversation with Women, and it was all about small moments of appreciating our women. And as it evolved, we then coined it Women in Conversation. Now, in South Africa, we've got about more than 60% of our employees as women. And therefore, Women in Conversation is imperative for us because it's to celebrate our women, it's to recognize the contribution that they're making, it is to create a platform where conversations are being held that is going to add value to their lives, both at work and in their communities. And Women in Conversation is an amazing program because we first did an audit of what are the issues that women experience, or that they're confronting, and we wanted it to be relevant, and therefore our themes are aligned with what our women in South Africa told us what they'd like to talk about.
So I appreciate that McDonald's is a multinational corporation, and I can imagine if you've mentioned that over 60% of women are employed, just that impact over and above empowering, the economic empowerment, but now this platform that is also speaking to personal development.
Yes.
I just want to also explore the theme. I know that throughout the years you have certain focus on certain topics, and I understand this year's theme is balancing corporate success and mental well-being.
Yes.
Just explore that with us and why the particular choice to zero in and focus on that theme.
Well, Kiamo, as you know, women come to work, but they leave their children at school, they leave their children for daycare, they have to take care of their families, they have to take care of their various things. Now, we believe that we need to create a platform and a conversation that will support them and strengthen them. And that is why well-being was a very important theme for us, because we want to empower and equip our women to be able to balance the pressures that they are facing and their experience at work and their career that they're taking that also need a lot of their attention. But how do we then support them over and above what our organization is doing here in South Africa? What else do we do to make sure that our women and even our men are equipped with tools that can actually help them to handle the pressures and the stress, and also to understand it is important to look after yourself, to look after your well-being. It's important to take your mental health serious, because that will make you to be excellent in everything that you're doing.
Now, you've given us a kind of lay of the land, or what are some of the key messages and I understand that this event has already happened.
Yes.
What are the takeaways from the guests or the speakers that shared some of the messages or conveyed that message between balancing home life versus work life, and also the people that were in attendance? What are some of their feedback on what this meant for them and what this event helped them achieve?
Well, I believe the excitement that was in that room, both there and the activity online, really made us understand this was a very important subject, or rather theme. However, what was important for us was that the women must be equipped to walk away with a renewed understanding of the importance of their well-being, so that they can be successful in all their endeavors. Because when once you're not looking after yourself, and you're not taking care of yourself, how then are you going to have the strength and the ability to actually function well, or rather take care of others? And we hope that they walked away with all the information and a renewed understanding that well-being is important to them, and they shouldn't feel bad about it, because it just makes them to be amazingly great in all that they are doing.
Amazingly great in all that they are doing. I really like how you've actually just added that emotive part, but in a way that it is okay to ask for help, or it is okay to say that I'm not coping. I just want to know, beyond the Women in Conversation platform, just touching on women empowerment, what is the reason behind the metrics that McDonald's SA has decided to lead with and say, we want to employ more women? We actually want to tip the scale and make it that actually 60% of women are employed in our organization. What is the reason, and how is that fitting with the McDonald's SA's broader strategy?
Well, women, you would also understand that women are very productive. Well, we all are productive. But what is important about us is that we want to make sure that we're inclusive, especially when we recruit. We make sure that we're inclusive in how we do recruitment. And as you know, in South Africa as a whole, we are more than men. So it's important then to have an inclusive strategy. And that is why you'll see there's more women in our business, because obviously they seeking for jobs. But also, it's also the growth that's taking place in McDonald's is so good in South Africa, because of all, our restaurants that we have that are being run by amazing teams. And it is really a great feeling to work with an organization that realize the importance and the power of women to turn business around and to inform strategy.
Now, lastly, just before we go, what else can we expect from the McDonald's SA Women in Conversation platform for the future?
Well, the future of women, McDonald's Women in Conversation, is very bright. We'd like to have more dialogues. We'd like to foster a stronger relationships with our communities through our various, activations. We'd like to reach more women, and most of all, we'd like to ensure that women are empowered at home, in the communities, and at work. And mostly, we'd like to make sure that they've got access to all our programs, like Women in Conversation, Women in Motion, which we do, and we connect it with a community strategy where we give away food, or rather food to our communities through the activations that we're doing at our drive-thrus. We also want to do more of mentorship programs with women, and to ensure that we really impact women's lives positively.
So it's always a good news story hearing about how a large organization like McDonald's SA is going about not only just bettering communities, but society as a whole. But unfortunately, that is where I have to wrap up today's conversation. A special thank you to my guest, Maureen Williams-Mtoninchi, Director of Operations at McDonald's SA and Chairperson of the SA chapter of Women's Leadership Network. From me, Kiamakhetso Mosipele, it's goodbye for now.